Hello there, and welcome back for the rest of this test explanation. This was the module test for measures of central tendency, and we've already done page 260 in the last video, so I'm over here on page 261. So in your textbook, we're looking at those problems. Hopefully you have already completed this exam, and you are comparing your work to mine. Okay, number 1 says, listed below is the frequency chart for a set of data. What is the mode of the data? So ask yourself which one of those has the most X's, and that will be your mode. Mode means most often. And of course the 1 is the tallest, so that would be your mode. Number 2. Which of the following could be negative? Select all that apply. Well, mean could be negative if you start with negative numbers. If you're figuring the number of, or the average number of days below 0, that mean would be negative. So mean could be. Median and mode could also be, and so could range. So any of those could be negative numbers. So your answer to this one would be A, B, C, and D. Number 3, I had asked you to skip. It's a good problem if we had a lot of time. It's using a guess and check kind of thing, but I'm not really going to spend the time to do that. So let's jump on down to number 4. In a town of 100 residents, 99 have less than $1,000, and 1 is a millionaire. Which measure of central tendency would best represent the net worth of a typical resident? So that's going to look at your average, don't want to use that word, at your median middle income. So you've got most of your folks are down there at 1,000, and then you have that one outlier that's all the way at $1 million. But median would give you a very good idea of the average, typical, well, not average, but the typical person. I'm not using average in the sense of mean, but average in the sense of normal or typical. So you would want to look at the median on that one. I wouldn't worry too much about that problem. Number 5, I'm more worried about because it involves some serious math that you know how to do, by the way. A bakery sold 400 bagels on Monday, 650 on Tuesday, and 350 on Wednesday. How many bagels on average, so there's that word, must the bakery sell during the next 2 days to have an average sales of 500 bagels for 5 days? So set this one up the way you know to do that. We want it to average 500. So we already know the mean that we want. And we know that we're going to allow the sales of 5 days to count. So we have 400 on Monday. And if it helps you, put the M up there. Tuesday is 650. Wednesday is 350. And remember, they want us to count Thursday and Friday. So there are 2 days here that we need to count. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it just like this. I think this is easier to see. The 2 days that are Thursday and Friday. Okay. So let's do a little simplifying. We're going to add 400, 650, and 350. Use your calculator. That's 1,400 plus those 2 days. all I've done is add the top there. Let me do this for you so you can keep up with me. I've done that to get this, and that's all I did. And now I'm going to get rid of that fraction. So you multiply both sides by 5. That's what you want to move. So this is going to cancel. So you're left with 1,400 plus 2 days equals 500 times 5, which is 2,500. And then we're going to minus the 1,400 here and here. So you're left with those 2 days. That's so important, guys. Equaling 1,100. So we want to know what 1 day would be. So 1,100 divided by 2 is 550. So they're going to have to sell 550 bagels on Thursday and Friday for this to work. Good problem. Okay, I think for this next one, maybe I can squeeze it in up here. I'm bouncing around on the page, but trying to not let this get too much out of hand. So here's number 6. Your grade in a course is determined by averaging 2 quizzes and a final exam, which counts double. Your grades on the 2 quizzes were 87 and 91. What grade must you get on the final exam to have a course average of 94? So average is mean. I'm going to set that up. We want to get this average. Okay, so we have quiz 1, quiz 2, and the final counts twice. That's what double means. So we know that quiz 1 was an 87. Quiz 2 was a 91. And then we have the double final. So how many things are we looking at here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to divide by 4 scores. So here's the setup. First thing that we need to do is combine those two. So 87 plus 91 equals 178 plus the double final would be an average of 94. Remember, we still have that 4 floating in there. So all I've done is combine those two numbers. Then we're going to multiply both sides by 4 to get rid of that ugly fraction mess. So this goes away, cancels away. So you have 178 plus the double final. And that equals 94 divided by 4, or I'm sorry, times 4. That's 376. So then let's move. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm so sleepy today. I'm just not with it. Just making up stuff here. So this is canceling. And you're left with the double final. Is 376 minus 178, which is 198. So if we divide that 198 by 2, so that we just get one final, you would have to score a 99 on your final to make that average, which is possible, but that's pretty tough to do. That's almost 100%. And let me go ahead and highlight one more thing for you. This 94 times 4 is where that 376 is coming from. So I would go with answer D on this one. Okay, number 7. I think I can get it right here. Which set has the largest range? And they've been very nice to me. They've already put them in order, so I really don't have to search for the largest and smallest. A, the largest is 55. The minimum is 25. If you subtract those, you get a 30. B, you've got maximum 80, minimum 10. Difference is 70. 100 minus 1 is 99. And 100 minus 2 is, of course, smaller, is 98. The largest range is C. If you know what range means, that one's in the back. Okay, guys, this video is getting very long, so I'm going to stop it. I'll come back and finish up the rest.